All right, we are back with none other, and this is my first time interviewing a rapper here on the program, and it's none other than King Tragedy. Man, we go way back, and it's great to have you on the show. How have you been, man?
Not too bad. Yourself?
I've been really good. I've been very busy in my journey, and you certainly have as well. But as of late, you've been over rap media and rap press all over Canada, and even in the United States and across the world. But you have a SoundCloud going. People can check that out on SoundCloud.com/king-tragedy. And Nick, you got a good following there, man. 35 tracks. How did that all begin for you?
I started off making music when I was 14. I started playing around with some buddies. We were freestyling and stuff. And a couple of them told me, you're really good at it. Just keep doing it. Keep going with it. So that was my intention with it at first. I just wanted to, play around with it, try and make some tracks. But a lot of people ended up liking my music. So I started I kept doing it, kept going forward. And eventually it started ending up being therapy. Like I found a lot of my life issues were getting resolved through music. So I just kept pushing forward. I ended up breaking addiction through music, actually.
Oh, good for you, man. Tell us a little
Yeah.
more about that.
I was my drug of choice was MDMA. I like doing my Molly, but I ended up breaking an addiction it's been 5 years now. I've been clean. I used it at first. It felt like it really helped my music. It helped increase my creativity. But then it almost like stumbled down into psychosis where I had to do it to write my music. You know what I mean? Like I was always doing it. Otherwise, my music in my mind wasn't top to par. So I ended up quitting it, and I gave music a break for a couple of years. Started getting my mind clear, and then I jumped back into it. And honestly, ever since I have, it's just been the best thing I've done. I've gained a lot of attention for myself, and I've been moving forward positively in my life. So.
Hey man, it takes a really strong person to quit, and me being my party lifestyle, I don't really go into things. It's definitely a very hard step for someone that's been in that pothole. It's definitely really, really difficult. So I give you credit for overcoming adversities. But a lot of you and me, we both went to like a sort of a rough high school. Where a lot of shit was going on at times. So like, was a lot of your lyrics and a lot of your tracks based on you growing up, or were you just coming up with things on the fly?
A lot of my music at first was more stuff going on in my life at home. It was like more behind the scenes of what I was dealing with and trying to express it in a way where people could actually pay attention and be like, oh shit, this is what I need to do to end up like helping this kid out, right? But it never ended up working that way in the end anyways. So
So, like, what was it like when you got an interview? You had not an interview. You had this song that came out. I'm just trying to find it out on SoundCloud here, and I see here 79.2K Cartier wrist featuring Little B. Were you featured in that song? Is that just something on your list, or like that's a pretty
no,
impressive number?
that's just something on my list. I help out a bunch of artists. Like I use this thing called repost exchange, and basically I just exchange tracks. I'll repost other artists, and they'll repost my stuff with their followers. So it's basically like a way of us just staying connected in the community, helping each other out.
Let's talk about your YouTube video that got a really good hit called I Am the One Nobody. I thought that was a really good video, going over the city of Winnipeg, telling a really good story in that song as well. I feel there's a really good amount of storytelling. And someone who follows the pro wrestling scene and wrestling stories can both of us know that storytelling is so important. So, like, how did that video turn out? Were you impressed with the final product? And is that one of your favorite tracks to date? And if not, like, what are a few favorites that, people should definitely listen to listening from around the world?
You know what, man? I was so happy with the outcome of the video. Honestly, Rob, Shot by Rob is the one who ended up directing it. Roberto Gomez, you guys can hit him up. But definitely, man, he's the one who put in the work behind all that with the special effects. Him and I brainstormed a couple ideas, but he ended up taking the main role in that. I'll give him full credit for it. But in the end, man, we just ended up saying, I want to do this, and then he ended up saying a few things. I said, maybe in the background, try this out, and that's what it ended up coming out to. It was a masterpiece in the end. I Am the One Nobody is definitely a favorite track of mine. I mean, the only other track right now that it beats it in my personal catalog, sorry, is Options that I just ended up dropping. It's a sneak peek for Tragic Land, which is my album, which will be coming out on Halloween.
I see that. There's a song I actually posted a day ago. You were talking about options at Tragic Land, and then there 19 days ago I see Heartless. So, and you're also featuring like a lot of good artists as well, like Jedi Stacks and just other. Like I said, lead the way when it comes to this. But Jedi Stacks, I actually heard of him. Really good talent. What is it like working with other people? Have you ever had any collisions, or were they mostly positive experiences?
Uh, there's lots of positive experiences, but there's a lot of bullshit in the back scenes too. I mean, some people don't have good work ethic, and other people do. So some people you got to get on them a million times, and it's like, hey man, what the hell is going on? Some people want to do a million things, but in the end, it turns out to them not even being able to do five. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
in this game, it's a lot of help me, but no one wants to help you. That's the way I look at it. So you really got to be on these cats if you want to get shit done, and that's why now I'm at the point where I've been so dedicated onto this. I've been on so many people that now I'm at the point where I've gained enough attention where I can start charging. And for me, it's a small amount. It's nothing crazy, right? But even taking that first step to where I'm able to charge for it is still a step in the right direction.
Oh, and absolutely. You've been making. I've seen you in like 3 articles in the past month, and you're also known, like it says on your SoundCloud page, aggressive punchlines, and it takes a lot of time to develop. How exactly long was that development, and when were you starting to get the kick of it?
You know what, man? I'd say 2 years it took me to get that good. Like actually coming up with shit that was clever, putting new abbreviations in, trying different things, breaking words down, wordplay. I actually made a song with the alphabet. I tried every single different word, trying to rhyme it and go down all the way to Z. Like I tried everything under the books. I had a lot of friends supporting me on the side. You know, they would make me freestyle and they would drop random words. They would make me go faster. They would make me slow down. They would like tried tricking me all the time, but no one was able to.
Now, I have a love-hate relationship with the city of Winnipeg, but there's a lot of people that like the rap scene here and don't like it. Now, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the whole scene as a whole. Is the Winnipeg rap scene like thriving right now, or is it like barely surviving? Like, what are your viewpoints on that? The whole scene together here in Winnipeg.
I feel like the whole scene is finally starting to come together a little bit more. I feel like people are actually, instead of banging heads with each other, they're putting their heads together and making better plans to work and move forward. Like the whole community at first, I get the thought or the mindset of I want to be the one who does it first. I want to be the one to blow up. But when that's all your mind is set on, what happens when you do? What's your next step? Because now that's all you prepared for. You've only prepared for something so small that that was a small-minded move on yourself, right? So these people need to stop being so small-minded and actually open up to the point and the possibility that if we all work together as a community, we can literally do everything. I mean, every rapper has about five friends, right? Well, your five friends talk to my five friends talk to your five friends, sort of deal. That's how we are going to grow. That's the only way we're going to be able to grow in this city because so many people have blasted music to other people that it gets to the point where it's annoying. And then
Yeah,
when artists like us who sit there and it's like, we're grinding our asses off, we try and send you a song and you're like, oh, I don't even want to listen to it because you're from Winnipeg.
because other
Well, what does
people
that
ruined
mean?
that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what am I supposed to do because I'm from Winnipeg that's going to interest these people? Am I supposed to jump through hoops that are on fire? I can do that, but all it really does is create a smoke show in the end.
At the end of the day, Winnipeg's a really underrated market, and I feel like a lot more of it should be highlighted. And and in certain ways it is, but I feel like it deserves that a little bit more of recognition than it does. And when it comes to like other rap scenes in Canada, what are your goals and aspirations? Like, where else do you want to do a few shows? And I've seen you done some shows in Regina. You also done the rookies venue where I also performed that, ironically. So tell us about your rookie show that you did and, some other shows you want to do across Canada and maybe in the States once this whole coronavirus is going away.
Rookies is a pretty nice place. It's pretty chill. It's pretty laid back. I mean, they got the cheapest drinks in the city, so anytime that we throw shows there, everyone is having a good time.
$3 Jack and
But
Coke, you can't beat it.
no, man, you can't beat it. But the best part is when we're there, everyone's having a good time. I mean, I haven't really ran into any problems with anyone creating fights or arguments or anything like that. And sometimes that does come up. You're gonna have to deal with that once or twice in this genre. I mean, it's just part of the game. But knock
So,
on wood, rookies is one of the places that I feel most comfortable performing at.
what we like to do on the podcast here is a top three. You know, it can be current artists or past artists. You know, top three influences in your rap career, past or present, and go.
Definitely Capital Steez is going to be my top inspiration. He ended up helping me get through a lot of things when I was suicidal and depressed and had anxiety like crazy. He ended up getting me through a lot of things. Um, Also, I'd have to go with, jeez, you got me stumped here. I'm thinking. I'd have to go with Prince. Prince was one of my influences for sure. I just liked his style of music. You know, it was different. It was something that spoke out to me. But another one that I would have to go with is Eminem. Eminem's always been like someone I've looked up to, you know?
Oh, absolutely. One of the, I'd say the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Hands down. I say top three at least.
Oh, the man's a goat.
Absolutely. Well, you know what, man? King Tragedy, thanks for taking the time to be on, and you mark the first ever rap interview on the podcast. So I appreciate your time. Any other final words? And where can people follow you on social media? Because we have listeners from Canada, we have listeners from Japan, Australia, all around the world, and they want to know where they can check you out.
Where you can find me is you can honestly just go right into Google and search up King Tragedy. You'll be able to find all my music there. If not, you can also go to my Instagram on King Tragedy Music. Right in my bio, there's a link that'll send you to a link that sends you to all platforms. I'm on everything, Spotify, Apple Music, you name it.
Right on. You guys can check that out. And thank you once again, King Tragedy, for being on the show.
No problem. Much love and respect for having me.